Let's just jump into the most important thing, which is the campaign build. I was talking to another a digital media buyer who's had a ton of experience in the industry, pretty much equal to me, and they said something that is very, very true. And it's like, one thing about media buying is it's not some secret hack that I have. Of course, I have a couple that make costs a bit cheaper and give me that competitive, 20 to 30% advantage. But honestly, you don't need a lot of that stuff. Being a good digital marketer and a good ad buyer is really just having more tools than anyone else and being able to try more things. So honestly, a lot of being a good media buyer is just having more and more strategies. So it's not one strategy that I go for and I'm like, okay, we can implement this strategy everywhere. That's usually not the case for it. What it is, we have multiple strategies that we try, and pretty much at the beginning, we'll throw absolutely everything at our campaigns. So, we don't create, 10, 20 ad groups. Even with these large audiences, we're creating typically, around probably 50 to 100 different targeting groups, especially at the beginning, at the very first part of scale. Once you're scaling, it does become less campaigns and just more budget into those campaigns. But these are the most important ones for the actual scaling to $200,000 a month, which is number one, lookalikes. From my experience right now, I'm seeing different things work for lookalikes. Of course, on every account, regardless, I try them, but I notice in general the 1% and the 10% work extremely well. And then also just putting all your lookalikes together. So for example, let's say if I do a 1%, a 2%, a 3%, a 5%, a 10%, I'll put them in one campaign just to do a larger audience. This also really helps with seasoned accounts. We also do these lookalikes only based off high-level actions. I've tried doing stuff like lookalikes based on registration, lookalikes based on checkout, etc. Nothing is going to be better than actually doing a lookalike based on your purchase or based on an appointment, depending how you have the webinar set up. So lookalikes are going to be a massive part of this strategy. It's going to be around a third of your spend in general once you get it working. Maybe slightly smaller depending how well you do on, say, interest, etc. But lookalikes are definitely a big part. So you want to create basically all different variations there. The 1% I'd say is the most important, and then the all lookalikes in one campaign. Really, the goal here is when you're trying to spend this much money, you want to do the largest amount of audience possible while keeping it relevant. Lookalikes helps you do that.
If you like that clip, get the rest of this presentation along with high-level tips and strategies from other world-class webinar marketers by grabbing the recordings from our Webinar Confidential Virtual Summit at webinarcon.com/recordings.